In the vastness of space, among trillions of galaxies, there exists one of fairly average size. Nothing particularly special about it, cosmically speaking. Swirling silently in the dark, we call it the Milky Way. It's been around for over 13 billion years, which, coincidentally, is around the age millennials and zoomers can expect to retire. Within this galaxy, among hundreds of billions of stars, there is one that is, again, fairly ordinary. Stable, middle-aged, we call it the Sun. Orbiting this star are 8 planets, and among them, one small, slightly fragile rock drifts along at just the right distance to not immediately turn into a frozen wasteland or a burning hellscape. We call it Earth. We also call it home. As far as we know, it's the only place where life exists. Probabilistically, there is other life out there, but our attempts to locate it have so far found, well, nothing. Just us. No pressure. Life here comes in a few broad categories. Animals, plants, fungi, bacteria, protists, whatever those are. Among these, there is one group that tends to dominate the conversation. Animals. At some point, hundreds of millions of years ago, evolution looked at these animals and decided to shake things up a bit. It stopped just making things that were alive, and started making things that could experience being alive. Complex nervous systems developed, which are responsible for that most distinctly animal trait, sentience. Whether you consider this a beautiful development or the beginning of all of life's problems is likely going to depend on the kind of day you're having. Now, one thing us sentient animals have always done is kill one another. Life consuming life in order to maintain life. It's been a violent but necessary cycle. Predator and prey, the food chain. It's messy, but it works. Seeing as we humans are just animals, we have always been, unsurprisingly, part of the system. But we're also a bit strange, because unlike most other carnivorous or omnivorous animals, we don't just kill instinctively. We do it out of convenience, tradition, preference. Sometimes just because it's what we've always done. And yet for something that's supposed to be natural, many of us are oddly uncomfortable with it. People don't generally enjoy seeing blood or suffering. Certainly it isn't considered appetizing. We avoid looking too closely at slaughterhouses. We prefer our food neatly packaged, abstracted, far removed from anything that once had a face. It's easier that way. Out of sight, out of mind. Regardless of our distaste for killing, historically we've been quite effective. As noted by author Yuval Noah Harari, long before modern civilization, humans were already wiping out animal species wherever they went. Entire ecosystems reshaped by one species. Today, humans and the animals we farm make up around 96% of all mammalian biomass on Earth. Clearly, we have long positioned ourselves as the most dominant animal species. Some confuse this dominance with superiority, but that is a mistake. A famous quote often misattributed to Einstein goes, "Everybody's a genius, but if you were to judge a fish by their ability to climb a tree, they will live their whole life believing that they are stupid." In other words, our metrics for judging superiority are biased, and so claims of our total superiority are wrongful. We possess superior intelligence and reasoning, certainly. However, unlike the peregrine falcon, we cannot zip across the sky at speeds of 200 miles per hour by simply moving our limbs. Unlike the lemon shark, we cannot use our nostrils to detect smells over a quarter of a mile away. Unlike the housefly, we cannot react to things in only 20 milliseconds. In all these ways, are these animals not superior to ourselves? For the most intelligent animal to determine that intelligence is the most important attribute would be far too convenient. I mean, if every species wrote the rules for what counts as superior, they'd all win. I do not intend to diminish our worth with these observations, only to point out that there is no objectively superior animal. In fact, I think our unique qualities are astounding. We are so creative, so innovative, so capable. We have the power to shape the world, and we wield it brazenly. Oftentimes we look to create a better world, one with more comfort, more stability, less suffering. We let empathy guide a great many of our decisions and advancements. We want a world where no one is hungry, for example. A different kind of superiority here emerges. Moral superiority. We admire those who make the world better for others and have disdain for those who worsen it. Knowing though that all the animals experience this world and have some inherent value, why do we not try and make the world better for them also? After all, we have the power of choice. The falcon, the shark, and the fly might have us beat at some feats, but when it comes to capacity to make impactful decisions, we're taking the gold medal every time. We can reflect, we can change, we can decide to do things differently. And yet, on a massive scale, we don't. We breed animals into existence, confine them, use them, and kill them. Not because we have to, but because it's normal. Because it's easy. Because it's what we're used to. Millions of animals are killed every hour, which is the sort of number that stops feeling like anything at all if you think about it for too long. So most people don't. It's a strange situation, isn't it? On one hand, we like to think of ourselves as compassionate, thoughtful, morally aware. On the other, we participate in systems that cause enormous amounts of suffering and exploitation, often without really questioning them. Of all the places in the universe, this is the one where life, as far as we know, gets to feel anything at all. And on this one planet, there exists a species with the ability to decide how much of that experience is suffering and how much isn't. Additionally, animals aren't just beings that can suffer, they're individuals with their own lives which matter to them. This means we can protect their rights as well. Not just avoid causing them physical harm, but avoid them being commodified, for example. No other species can really do that, make a decision about how life on Earth is valued. Which for us is both an incredible opportunity and a slightly terrifying responsibility. The good news is, you personally don't need to fix the entire world. But you do make choices, every day. Small ones, mostly. What you eat, what you support, what you ignore, and increasingly, for most people, those choices aren't about survival. If you had been born as someone else, someone without control, without context, without a way to opt out, you'd probably hope that the creatures in charge had made slightly kinder decisions, or at least thought about what they're doing for more than a few seconds. And that's where we are. We're at the point where doing something better is an option. The next time you're choosing what to eat, you might notice something. That, for perhaps the first time, it actually feels like a choice with real consequence. You could consume animals, thus contributing to more suffering and exploitation, or you could not. Think about the kind of world you want to exist. The kind of world you would hope to exist were you born into another animal's body. This planet is, as far as we can tell, rare, maybe unique. The fact that anything gets to experience being alive at all is already quite strange. So if we're going to be here, we might as well try not to make it worse than it needs to be. If you wish to learn more about the ways humans use other animals, there is a documentary right here on YouTube called Earthlings. Fair warning, it's not exactly light viewing. Anyway, here's to a better future on this unique and peculiar planet, for me, for you, and for them. For all sentient life.